Hi, welcome to my video on finding a pattern in the product of the two binomials. This is part one. The product of the two binomial pattern is going to help us learn how to factor a trinomial. And we'll keep, as you see when we develop this. Finding the product of two binomials using the FOIL method. FOIL is first, outside, inside, last. The first is x times x, x squared. X times plus 1 is plus x. Plus 6 times x is 6x. And last is 6. Add up the like terms. I get 1 plus 6 is 7. And plus 6. First, x squared. Outside, negative x. Inside, negative 6x. Last is plus 6. Add up the like terms. Negative 1, negative 6 is negative 7. First, x squared. Outside, 2x. Inside, 3x. Last, 6. And the like terms are 2 and 3 makes 5x. First, x squared. Outside, negative 2x. Inside, negative 3x. Last is 6. X squared minus 5x plus 6. First is, x squared. Outside is negative 1x. 6 times x is the inside, 6x, and 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. And we get a 5x when we add. Note, that's a negative 1. First is x squared. Outside is 1x. Inside, negative 6. Last is, negative 6x. And last is negative 6. Add, and I get a negative 5x minus 6. First, x squared. Outside, negative 2x. Inside, 3x. Last, negative 6. And add, negative 2 and 3 is a 1x. You could put a 1 there or just say x. That's an x. First, x squared. Outside, 2x. Inside, negative 3x. Last is negative 6. And x squared plus 2 minus 3 is negative 1x, negative 6. So that's a bit of practice on FOIL. First, outside, inside, last. And let's answer some questions based on use the products above to answer each question below. A, each product is a monomial, binomial, or trinomial. So each product here is 3 terms. Notice 1, 2, 3. So each product is a trinomial. What is the first term of each trinomial? The first term of every trinomial is, as you can see, x squared. How was it obtained? Well, it was obtained by the product. So we got x squared by multiplying x times x, the product of the first terms of the binomials. Again, as in terms of the binomials, we're working these. In terms of the two binomials, how was the middle term of the trinomial obtained? So the middle term, which is the 7x, was obtained by, let's see, adding those two. The middle term, negative 7, was adding those two terms. The middle term is 5x, adding 2x and 3x, adding the x's. Notice, adding the x's, 5x. So as you review that, how was the middle term obtained? Well, it was obtained by the product of the outside, and inside terms. The product of the outside and inside terms added together. In other words, what we're going to write down here is one big word, is the sum. The sum of the outside terms multiplied and the inside terms multiplied. So it's the sum of the products. So I noticed the word, I have the sum of the products of the outsides and insides. Again, let's check this one right here. If I multiply the outside, I get a 2x. Multiply the inside, I get a negative 3x. So this term here is the result of adding these two. But to get these two, I had to do the product of the outside and the product of the inside. So it's the sum of the product of the outside and the product of the inside that gives us the middle term. D, each trinomial has what number at the end if you ignore the plus or the minus? What number is at the end if you ignore the plus or the minus? And so we always have a 6. And how was that 6 obtained? Well, it was what? It was the product of the last terms of the binomial. In terms of signs, in terms of the signs of the two binomials, in terms of these signs, plus plus, minus minus, plus plus, we have a plus minus, minus plus. In terms of these two signs in the binomials, these two signs that we started with, the product at the end of the trinomial, this product is at the end. This product at the end is a plus. When is this a plus product right here? When is this a plus? That's a plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, plus 6. So this product at the end was obtained when the signs are, notice, plus plus, minus minus, plus plus, minus minus. So that product of plus 6 is at the end when the signs are the same. It makes sense. When you multiply two positives, you get a positive. When you multiply two negatives, you get a negative. So if the last terms is, if these terms here are the last terms and they're pluses, the product is positive. If these terms here are two negatives, when I multiply the two negatives, I get a product of a positive. So the last term in the binomial is positive if the signs are the same, two pluses or two minuses. Two minuses, two pluses. And when are they negative? So this product is negative 6, negative 6, negative 6, negative 6. When is the product negative? When I multiply the last terms, I get a negative times a positive is a negative. Or I get a positive times a negative is a negative. So the product is negative when the signs are different. What we mean by different, that means one is positive and the other one is negative. So the two signs are not the same. When the signs are the same in these binomials, the product at the end, the last terms, is a positive. When the signs are opposites, pluses and minuses, when we multiply, we get a negative. Let's do some further practice on that. Because once you keep this in these rules or what's happening in your head and you see what's happening, then it's easy to understand. But we have to make sure we understand what we're looking at. Let's look at this chart here. We have the terms of the binomial product. We have the product of the first terms, the sum of the products of the outside terms and the product of the inside terms, and we have the product of the last terms. So in terms of these, let's see, the product of the first terms. So if we multiply the first terms, we'll get an x squared. The sum, if we multiply the outside, we get a 3x. If we multiply the inside, we get a 4x. And if we add them together, we get a 7x. So what we're saying, the sum of the product of the outside, 3x, and the product of the inside, which is 4x, the sum of those is the middle term of the trinomial, which is 7x. And the product of the last terms is a plus 12, or just say 12. And that's the product of the last terms of the binomial, these two, is the last term in the trinomial. So it's the same as we did before, we're only just writing it all down and explaining it different. So the product of the first terms is x squared. The product of the outside is 2x. The product of the inside is 5x. And when you add those together, you get a 7x. And the product of the last terms is a 10. So the product of 5 and 2 is 10, and that's the last term in the trinomial. Number 3, first terms, x squared. Outside, negative 3x. Inside, negative 4x. And when you add those up, you get a negative 7x. And the last terms here is 12. And that's the last term in the trinomial. Number 4, x times x is x squared. Outside, negative 2x. Inside, negative 5x. Add, you get a negative 7. And the product of negative 5 and negative 2, when you multiply those two, you get a 10, and that's the last term in your trinomial. Continue. First terms, x squared. Outside, negative 3x. Inside, 4x. Outside, negative 3x. Inside, 4x. And the sum of those two is an x. And 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 when you multiply, and that's the last term in your trinomial. And let's do this one. First terms, x times x, x squared. Outside is a 3x. Inside is a minus 4x. And when you add, you get a negative x. And negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, the last term of the trinomial. Continue. X times x, x squared. That's the first. Outside, negative 2x. Inside, 5x. And you add together to get 3x. And the last, when you multiply 5 by negative 2, is a negative 10, which is the last term of the trinomial. And number 8, x times x is the first term, x squared. Outside, 2x. Inside, minus 5x. Add, we get a negative 3x. And negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Product of the last terms, which is the last term of the trinomial. Okay, you can practice, practice, practice. Now let's see. The product of the two binomials above is a trinomial consisting of column A, column B, and column C. So if you look through A, you got an x squared plus 7x plus 12. X squared plus 7x plus 12. Number 2 is x squared plus 7x plus 10. X squared plus 7x plus 10. Number 3 is x squared minus 7x plus 12. X squared minus 7x plus 12. Number 4 is x squared minus 7x plus 10. X squared minus 7x plus 10. Number 5 is x squared, x, and a negative 12. X squared, x, and a negative 12. Number 6 is x squared minus x minus 12. X squared minus x minus 12. Number 7, x squared plus 3x minus 10. And the last one, x squared minus 3x minus 10. Again, practice. There is a pattern. Notice if you as you see that product right there is a plus 12. Notice the products are on the end. That's the products of the last terms over here. The product is positive when the signs are 2 pluses or 2 minuses. So these are pluses, product. But the signs could be pluses or they could be minuses multiplied together. Notice these last ones here, the product is negative 12. That means to get a product of negative 12, you must have different signs, pluses and minuses. Yes, true. So there is a pattern coming. So we'll develop, we're just getting started to develop this pattern to help us factor. Because factoring, understanding this, the factoring will be much easier. Okay, that's the end of this video. And if you like my video, click on the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, click on the subscribe button, because there are many more videos that I'll be doing online in the near future. Write a comment if you are a subscriber, and visit my math website at mathfullyexplained.com. And you'll have 3 sections there. And me section is about me, my degrees and teaching experience. The video section talks about the strategies or the teaching techniques that can help them learn your math. And the content section talks about the topics and the number of videos that I'm going to have online. And the black font is what's online already, and the red font is what I will be developing in the near future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.